Hi, guys, and good morning. I am just jumping on here real quick just to, eh, sorry, just to let y'all know that this is a quiet stream and that in the right side you'll see Earthquake 3D. I only have USGS earthquakes because I don't have the paid for version. And on the left side of the screen, over here, you'll see earthquakes from EMSC. The last one was a 1.9 Azores Islands, Portugal. And then above that, you can see I'm watching the weather on the east coast of the United States. I woke up this morning with lots and lots of thunder and lightning. So it's been a busy morning and a rainy day. The weather here right now is a nice 61 degrees. It's 62 right now, feels like 66. I was out for a little bit and it felt nice. Tomorrow's going to be 60. Friday will be 70 degrees. Saturday will be 76 degrees, and Easter Sunday will be 80 degrees. Monday it'll be 80 degrees, and then Tuesday it'll dip back down to 74 degrees. But we're supposed to have rain today and tomorrow. Tonight will be a low of 53, and on Thursday it'll be a low of 41. That's nighttime. Okay, you guys, so enjoy the stream. It's here for y'all to watch, to look at, to check out earthquakes. On USGS, you can see that the last earthquake they are showing was a 3.1 in California. That one for USGS, and it is listed as a 3.1 on the EMSC site. You can see that there was a 4.2 that followed that in Kepulauan Talad, Indonesia, and a 2.6 near the coast of Nicaragua, and a 1.8 Azores Islands, Portugal. Let's refresh this again. We can see that it's still stuck on the 3.1 for the USGS. So that is why I have the EMSC up here. Eventually, when I can get a paid-for version of the site, then I will put that up there and be able to have Earthquake 3D, the full one. But I don't have the full version. The full version costs $19.99. And hopefully this week sometime I will be able to get it, and then we'll have the full version and be able to use that. Just thought it would be important for you guys to be able to have a place where you can come to check out earthquakes. Feel free to use the chat room. It is there for y'all to chat. Just keep it clean. I do have moderators that will come in off and on. And I will be keeping an eye on the chat room to make sure that we don't have any major trolls. Other than that, I do not ask you to keep on topic. I do ask you, though, to keep it clean. Hey, George, how are you doing? It's nice to see you here. What I do ask is that y'all keep the chat room clean. You can chat among yourselves. You can chat with each other. This chat room is for you guys. Also, as updates come along for news, I will be talking about news during the live stream, and we'll upload those as a separate video. I am planning on doing more and more live streaming here for you guys so that y'all can have a place to come to during the day. Anyways, I will. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you're not doing too bad. Also, you guys, I'm not going to say a name here, but I am going to state that I would like you to pray for one of my Facebook admins who is in the hospital and fighting for their life at this time. And that is very important to me. She's a very, very long time friend, and I am very concerned for her. Did I hear about the caldera in Iceland? Yes, the caldera in Iceland erupted. We do know about that. You're not going to see earthquakes on Google Earth. I mean, on this, you know, this thing showing you earthquakes in Iceland because USGS doesn't tend to post that many of them. Um, hey, Joe, how are you doing? Ah, awesome. I'm glad you like it. I hope that this live stream will become a more and more valuable resource tool for people. As y'all know, I have the 50 groups on Facebook, but it also helps to have a place where you can view the earthquakes at and know what's going on in the world. Like, let's say when a 1.9 in the Azores Islands happens, it's great to look and see where that earthquake is on a map. Um, the California earthquake, it was offshore. So it was a 3.1 offshore Northern California, but it's also great to look because, you know, when they say Northern California, that could be anywhere from right around the middle all the way down. So it's great to be able to look and see exactly where that earthquake happened. George, aren't you doing mowing to Iceland? Huh? I haven't actually, to be honest, I haven't been keeping up so much with what's going on in Iceland the last few days. Excuse me, I have pollen allergies. Um, I have been actually keeping an eye on what happened with the bridge and the ship in Baltimore. And, you know, just that whole thing is kind of weird. I've been reading lots of stuff. My opinion is that it was a bad accident. Um, Ships, when they lose power, they do lose steering, and is very, very possible that they could not keep the boat where it was supposed to be. It did. That is strange because I just got through listening to this one lady and she didn't say it did that. Let's look up Iceland and see what we can find out real quick. So the news. There was a geomagnetic storm and a volcanic eruption in Iceland 19 hours ago. Volcano erupted under the northern lights in Iceland. As a volcano erupts in Icelandic town of Grindavik, videographers capture the sky breaking into a celestial light. Let's see if I can show y'all this without getting in trouble. Okay, that's what it looked like. And I can't show y'all the video because, you know, the video would get me in trouble. So let's see. Iceland volcano eruption. 1 day ago, Blue Lagoon closure likely to be extended amid volcanic gas pollution. I also heard that there was volcanic gas pollution affecting Europe. So, yeah. Iceland is warned about severe gas pollution after latest volcanic eruption. That was 5 days ago. Iceland's latest volcanic eruption will have an impact as far as Russia. Interesting stuff. Got to keep Iceland in prayer for what they are going through as far as the volcanoes. George, I have no idea who you're talking about. So, what am I drinking right now? I'm having a coffee. Just so you guys know, like I was stating to y'all a little bit back, I am going to be having surgery sometime between now and December. I don't know exactly the date yet. I'm waiting for them to give me the appointment time. Joe, I am so happy to see you here in chat. I don't know about that. Could be possible, but I don't know how much a medium-sized volcanic eruption spews out as far as pollution. Um, I don't know. To be honest, I don't abstain to the thought of climate warming. I think that the world goes through stages all the time, and that is nothing new. We're still, as they put it, in a mini ice age. So if we're still in a mini ice age, how can we be going through global warming? Just things don't make sense when you look at it in that way. Guys, make sure y'all click like and share the video, okay? That way more people can have a place to come to watch earthquakes and weather. I'm going to move this up a little bit. Let me do it this way. I want to give y'all more of a view of earthquakes and less of weather. So let me see here if I can do it this way. Oops. Okay, come here, baby. Come here. Okay, drag you back down. Well, I'll give you a few more. So let's see what else we have as far as news goes. Things have been interesting lately. Rogue waves caused a traffic accident on East Coast Overwash. Hmm. Let's see here. Mother Nature's wrath has been on full display in this northern hemisphere winter. Persistent storms, record-breaking rain, nonstop swells, the latter of which being a boon for surfers, yet a nuance for coastal infrastructure, has been pummeling the U.S., fueled by an overactive El Nino system and likely a glimmer of climate change. I don't believe in climate change, sorry. In some places, the ocean is literally returning to the land. Interesting. Axia caldera? Let's look up Axia caldera. There was a seismic swarm at Axia 2 days ago. So 2 days ago, a series of earthquakes were observed in Exeter this morning. The largest earthquake to date measured 3.5 in magnitude and hit at 10:40 a.m. It originated in the Þingvallavatn Mountains in northwest Iceland. This is also where most of the earthquakes have been detected in the volcano today since the seismic swarm began around 8 a.m. this morning. In September, I can't pronounce that name, Morgunbla, looks like an O-I-O, reported that it appeared that the landmass was previously measured continuously and the extra had changed slowly. This was determined by the measurement of two GPS stations in the Icelandic Meteorological Office above the volcano. He had 3.2. Okay, I'm trying to leave this here so y'all can see the magnitude, the latitude, longitude, depth, and magnitude over here. So the last earthquake now was a 2.8 in Portugal. And still, USGS still has us stuck on a 3.1. Yeah, I don't read too much into CNN. I didn't see that. Joe, my opinion of what was seen on the bridge was that they have lights on the bridge, and that when the bridge snapped, it caused the electric lines to light up. If you think about it, when you pull electric cords apart, you cause them to um, short, which could have been what the light was. They did show that the smoke was coming from the ship itself. So I think that people saying that there was explosions on the bridge, I kind of don't buy that. What I do buy is an electrical short. That's my opinion from having looked at the video several times. There was also, if you looked at the bridge, you'll notice that there was lights on top of the bridge. So when the bridge did come down, in the areas that broke, the wiring would have broke, which would have caused it to short out. I mean, we're talking about a metal bridge. I don't know. I'm just going by what I've seen so far. And let's see if we have any updates on that bridge at this time. The NTSB has taken the data recorder from the ship. So just so you know, they are resuming recovery efforts this morning, and they do presume that the 6 workers that were lost are dead. Um, Authorities are aiming to recover the remains of at least 6 missing people who are presumed dead in the collapse of the major bridge on Baltimore. After a search and rescue operation was suspended Tuesday, it was unclear whether there were more casualties beyond 8 members of the construction crew who were repairing masonry and potholes on the Francis Scott Key Bridge when the massive container ship plowed into it. Officials said 2 members of the crew were rescued. National Transportation Safety Board Chair Jennifer Hemedy said early Wednesday that investigators boarded the ship overnight and recovered the data recorder, which is essentially the black box, and are beginning to develop a timeline of events. Also, for those who didn't know, there was a bridge in Bridge, Ohio, that caught on fire yesterday. It was a spontaneous combustion. Valley View, Ohio, a spontaneous combustion situation with raw wood products at a landscaping supply center caused a massive fire underneath the Valley View Bridge early Tuesday morning. The mulch fire started at Kurtz Brothers Incorporated on Canal Road in Valley View. While these kinds of occurrences are not uncommon due to the nature of the materials, rarely do they accelerate to a point they did today, according to a news release from Kurtz Bros Incorporated. You could see the flames from miles away, and according to meteorologist Jeff Tanchak, A south wind blew smoke all the way into downtown Cleveland. There were no injuries. They said our protocols for such incidents were followed and our team responded in professionalism and urgency according to the news release from Kurtzbros Incorporated. Besides Valley View firefighters, Independence, Cuyahoga Heights, and Maple Heights firefighters were also on the scene. Their prompt action undoubtedly prevented further escalation and potential harm, according to a news release from Kurtz Brothers. Um, I want to look real quick on Google Earth and see where this bridge is. It is odd because it did happen around the same time that the fire, the ship yesterday morning was hit. So let's see, Valley View Bridge, Ohio, and we're going right to where it's at. So this is Valley View Bridge here, and the fire was, I'm guessing, assuming it was over here, because this is where it looks like the mulch plant is. So this area here itself caught on fire. So that would have been where it was located. So they had a mulch fire there. So that's for people who don't know that that happened yesterday. Yeah, compost mulch gets hot enough to spontaneously combust. However, they did state in that article that it was uncommon. Reminds me of a few years back here in Fayetteville, railroad ties in a certain area caught on fire. They never stated whether it was done on purpose or if it had just happened on its own. And that was here in Fayetteville. And still remember it burned for almost a week. Okay, where is my thingy majigger? Uh-oh. Here, thingy majigger. Still not, still not having any update to USGS earthquake 3D. You guys, if anybody would like to help me to get the earthquake 3D, this is my PayPal. So I do have a PayPal, and you are welcome to help me out with getting it. It is $19.99. Woohoo! Okay. Anyway, I just put that in chat. Um, yeah. All right. So anyway, what else? Let's see what other news we got. Since today seems to be a news day, Supreme Court gets January 6th defendant out of jail. I wonder why. Let's see why. A man convicted of charges related to January 6, 2021 riot at the U.S. Capitol is getting out of jail early due to the Supreme Court taking up a case that may affect the sentences of hundreds of defendants. Kevin Seyfried, a man from Laurel, Delaware, was sentenced to 3 years in prison for a felony conviction of obstruction of an official proceeding, as well as 12 months and 6 months for misdemeanor charges. The Department of Justice says Seyfried, as well as his son Hunter, were among the first to enter the Capitol and were photographed carrying a Confederate flag while inside. The obstruction charge is at the center of the case picked by the Supreme Court. The case, Fletcher versus United States, challenges the DOJ's use of obstruction of official proceedings charge, which has been used against January 6 defendants for allegedly disrupting the Electoral College certification. After the Supreme Court agreed to hear arguments in the case, some defendants filed for release pending the final ruling. On Tuesday, Judge Trevor McFadden ruled that Seyfried can be released from prison sentencing awaiting the court's decision. According to the court documents, McFadden determined that Seyfried does not pose a flight risk or a danger to his community, and that his appeal was not for the purpose of delay, and raises a substantial question that is likely to result in a reversal, neutral, or non-custodial sentence, or a custodial sentence that will have ended by the time the appeal is decided. Interesting. And you can read this court case by looking it up under this heading, since there's probably more to it. All right, so what's next? I wonder what this is about. South Carolina wants answers about $1.8 billion sitting in a bank. Okay. South Carolina has collected about $1.8 billion in bank account over the past decade and doesn't know where the money came from or where it was supposed to go. Alrighty then. Maybe they're got this thing where you know how the bank will accidentally put money into your account and then you have to let the bank know to take it out. South Carolina better let the bank know to take it out because they probably got it put in there accidentally. It's like going into your bank and the bank president tells you that we have lots of money in our vault. We just don't know who it belongs to, said Republican Senator Larry Grooms, who is leading a state panel investigating the problem. The bank account, which is now being examined by the state and private accounts, is the latest trouble with the state's books and comes after South Carolina's top accountant resigned last year. In that case, elected Republican Comptroller General Richard Ekstrom stepped down from his agency, started double posting money in higher education counts, leading to a $3.5 billion error that was all on paper. The paper era started during a decade-long transition to a new accounting system, which began in 2007, according to the South Carolina Daily Gazette. But the $1.8 billion involves actual cash placed in a bank account. Ding, ding. Now lawmakers are asking why the money was parked there in the first place and why officials never fixed the problem. This is one of the things that was swept under the rug for years, Grooms told the Daily Gazette. And you can look this article up with this heading. Very interesting. Does remind me of the time that my bank stuck $2,900 in my account. And I called my bank and I said, where did this money come from? I've never seen it before. Do you realize it took them 30 days to take it out of my account? 30 days. But it took them all about 2 seconds to put it in my account. So it took them 30 days to take it back out. And you know how hard it was to not want to touch the money because, you know, I could have used it for a few things. But you know how that goes. The things that banks do. McDonald's plans to sell Krispy Kreme donuts nationwide in 3 flavors. I don't like Krispy Kreme donuts. I think they taste yuck. All right. Huh. So, Anston University has made it possible to have 4.5 million times faster internet. Hmm. There's an economic impact from the border being shut down. Um, yeah, it's causing an economic impact uh, for the Port of Baltimore being shut down. There was like 40 ships that were offshore awaiting to go into Boston that did not make it into Boston. One of the ships that is now going to be relocated elsewhere is the Carnival Lines. Those people are on their way to the Bahamas, and when they come back, they will be deposited, I believe they said, to New York, and then they will be given bus fare back to Baltimore. So I saw that yesterday on the news. So yeah, it's going to be a mess. Oh, and y'all heard about the My Pillow guy? Yeah. He's been left without a place because what happened is they failed to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars in rent for the building that they were renting. And apparently they already have another place, but they were not using the place that they were renting, nor were they paying for it. So that is an issue. Uh, Mike Lindell, CEO of My Pillow Incorporated, speaks during a campaign rally for then President DT at the Duluth International Airport September 30th, 2020. It's no secret that My Pillow, Mike Lindell's stolen 2020 election claims have proven costly. Okay, so this is not the part that I wanted to read. Um, as far back as October, Lindell himself confirmed that My Pillow had been decimated by the defamation lawsuits at Dominion Voting Systems, and Spartmatic filed against several pro-Donald Trump figures. We lost hundreds of millions of dollars. And I'm looking for the part where he's having, okay, on Tuesday, Scott County Chief Judge Carolyn Lennon dealt yet another blow to the My Pillow salesman's business, leaving it without one place to rest its head following four default notices and $217,000 in unpaid rent. My Pillow was immediately ordered to vacate the premises. My Pillow is leasing a second warehouse in Shakopee, but the eviction development raises questions about whether the location's rent will be paid. Huh, interesting. Joe, what did Joe do? Back in 1970, in a state of drunkenness, Molotov cocktailed a bridge under construction, a cement bridge, no road on it, just I-beams. Joe, now that's not the kind of stuff you're supposed to be doing, but you were young. Let's just hope that you're not Molotov cocktailing things now. Yay! Okay, you guys heard about squatters that have been taking over people's houses, right? And there was a guy that had been telling other illegal aliens to come into the country and take over houses. Well, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill today, or signed a bill, HB 621, on Wednesday, preventing a squatter takeover of homes in the state of Florida. Squatters often target abandoned or unoccupied properties, taking advantage of owners' absence or neglect. They may occupy these properties, make necessary repairs, and even sell them without the rightful owner's knowledge or consent. If you purchase a home or own a residence, that's your residence. And if you happen to split time in Orlando and Michigan, and if you go to Michigan over the summer, people aren't going to be able to just move into your house and then claim squatters' rights to your private residence. And yet, in places like New York and California, that's exactly what's happening in this country. Homes are being invaded, and those states and their laws are not siding with the homeowners, they're siding with the squatters. Earlier this month, in New York, a woman returned to a property she had inherited to find squatters living there. She changed the locks to get them out. The state of New York arrested her instead of the squatters. Just a few days ago, two squatters in New York City allegedly murdered the property owner. That is messed up. House Bill 621 will allow a Florida homeowner to quickly and legally remove a squatter from the property, increasing criminal penalties for squatting. In Florida, reclaiming your home from squatters will be quick and simple, avoiding costly delays, litigation, and missed rents. HB 621 also creates harsh penalties for those who engage in squatting and for those who encourage squatting and teach others to scam. The bill makes it a first-degree misdemeanor for making a false statement in writing to obtain real property or for knowingly and willfully presenting a falsified document conveying property rights. A second-degree felony for any person who unlawfully occupies or trespasses in a residential dwelling and who intentionally causes $1,000 or more in damage, and a first-degree felony for knowingly advertising the sale or rent of a residential property without legal authority or ownership. The squatter scam ends today. With my signature on this piece of legislation, the state of Florida will be better off for it, said DeSantis. Florida is once again leading the nation, this time in securing our state against squatters, said Attorney General Ashley Moody. Biden has allowed millions of illegal immigrants to flood across the border. After video evidence of their plan to take over homes emerged, we're ensuring Floridians are protected from this egregious and outrageous scheme. I'm grateful to Governor DeSantis for signing this important legislation into law and to Representative Kevin Steele for carrying this bill through session. You know, this kind of stuff should never be happening in the United States. If you buy a house, you own the house. Who the heck has the right to go into your house, take over your house, and decide it's their house? And why? Why are states allowing that to happen? It makes absolutely no sense. Anyways, Moreno claimed that under the U.S. law, if a house is not inhabited, it can be seized by squatters. He even mentioned that his African friends had already taken over several homes during this approach. I believe Moreno is the guy, he's a TikToker, a Venezuelan immigrant or migrant with a significant online following, caused a stir when he shared advice on how to invade unoccupied homes and invoke squatters' rights. You know, he should be in jail. Marina's video sparked outrage among TikTok users and general public. Many viewed his advice as encouraging illegal activities undermining property rights. Commentators expressed their concern, with some calling for an investigation by the Federal Bureau of Investigations. That should be happening. Squatters' rights differ among 50 states, making it crucial for homeowners to understand the specific regulations in their jurisdiction. While some states offer extensive protection for squatters, others have stricter laws that favor property owners. I think that all states should favor property owners. I think that people who are not going to pay for where they live at should not be living in a home that's belonging to somebody. Now, honestly, I'll put this one out there. There's plenty of houses out there that are for sale. I think that a lot of these companies that put these houses up for sale should also offer those homes that are for sale for rent until the house is sold. Now, that would make sense. Anyways, you guys, there was a 4.0 Timor region, Indonesia, and there was a 2.0 island of Hawaii, and a 3.1 Luzon, Philippines. So, adverse possession requirements. To claim adverse possession, squatters must meet certain criteria. Open and notorious occupation, exclusive possession, continuous occupation, hostile possession, and payment of property taxes. There's a long thing on it, and you can look it up under this heading. There is so much more to this article, but I will leave you this article to be able to read more about it. Joe, I miss Florida, and I'm thinking about going to Florida in December, maybe, if I can go down there. I should change my channel title. Hang on. I'm going to change my channel title so that people know. The name of it is going to change. And World News. Yay! Okay, I changed the title of the live video so nobody can complain and say, oh, we didn't know that it was news. So the name of the title is Weather and Earthquakes 3D and World News. So I've done my World News. Yay! So are y'all having a great day? What are y'all planning on doing for Easter? I have gotten my granddaughter a bucket, a little pink bucket, and I got her a bunny. We're too poor to have Easter eggs, you know. Gotta wait until payday to have Easter eggs. I remember when I was younger, we used to get like a dozen eggs, and we would tie dye the eggs and make Easter eggs, hunt, and everybody would go out hunting for the Easter eggs. And I missed that. You're still in Halloween zone. George, you're staying home. George, are you doing better now? Last time I had talked to you, you weren't doing so great. Hey, George, I gave you a an Easter gift. So the next time you chat and chat, you'll see your Easter gift. Do I have anybody else who wants to be a moderator? I don't see anybody else in chat. So what am I planning on doing? Well, let me see. Sunday is Easter, so I probably go to church and then come home. Well, before I go to church, I'll probably give my granddaughter her Easter bunny and then go to church and then come home and figure out what we're going to have for dinner. Welcome to the live stream, George Mitchell. You have been wrenched. Been wanting to give you one for a while. Oh, awesome. I'm glad to hear that you're finally going to be moving into your home. I'm sure you are excited about that. And then you'll have plenty more room than you've had. George. Nah, I trust you. You do great with groups too, so you'll do great here. Guys, with that 3.1 in California, it was 5 kilometers deep, but I'm just going to say it. Y'all keep your eyes open and your ears open for bigger quakes. I'm like looking at what's going on with the eclipse that we're going to have. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a bigger earthquake during that time. What else we got for news? Well, 2 hours ago, the Weather Channel says California is going to have a storm that's going to bring heavy rain, mountain snow over the Easter weekend. So California will be soaked by a slow-moving storm Friday into the Easter weekend with locally flooding rain and a heavy mountain snow from Sierra to the LA basin. They're stating that there's going to be a weaker system first, For the holiday weekend arrives, a weaker Pacific cold front will bring out modest rainfall and up to a foot of snow in Northern California and Northern Sierra through Thursday. Other than snow-covered, slippery travel over the Sierra, they're not expecting other significant impacts from the first system. Here's Skylar. Say hi, Skylar. Ask your mom. Go ask your mom. Well, I know. Go ask your mom. The next storm's timing will be on Friday. Rain, possibly heavy, will spread into Northern California with heavy Sierra snow. Friday night, that rain will spread into parts of Southern California. Saturday, rain and mountain snow will affect all of Southern California. Rain and mountain snow showers persist into Northern California. Sunday, rain and mountain snow showers, perhaps a few thunderstorms, will linger over Southern California while precipitation tapers off over Northern California. They're saying this snow won't have long plume of deep moisture known as an atmospheric river, though it will be a moderate storm. Much of the state from Napa Valley to Big Sur coast of the LA Basin is expected to pick up an inch of rain from the storm. Locally, higher amounts are possible in the foothills of Sierra and Southern California mountains below snow level, as well as coastal ranges. Generally, 1 to 2 feet of snow is expected in the Sierra, especially the Southern Sierra. From 6 inches to 2 feet of snow is also possible in Southern California mountains above 5,500 feet in elevation, according to the National Weather Service. Potential impacts: given moderate rainfall from this storm, they expect flash flooding and mudslides to be more localized than past atmospheric river events in the season. Expect scattered flash flooding in the usual trouble spots, particularly in urban areas. Some mudslides and minor debris flows are also possible. Unlike the blizzard that kicked off the month, snow from this storm likely won't lead to lengthy closure of main routes through the Sierras, much such as Interstate 80 or US 50, but expect snowy travel through the weekend. So that is your weather. We had a rain shower here in Yuma on Sunday. Wow. Well, we had a rain shower a few days ago and got 2 inches of rain. Yup. 600 Family Dollar stores are going to be closing, just so y'all know. Oh, okay. So, you guys, this is coming from a certain channel, and I'm going to read it real quick. Civil liberties are under siege. FBI has demanded identities of users who watch certain YouTube videos. Unveiling court documents. Court documents recently unsealed and reviewed by Forbes reveal that Google, hang on, was compelled to disclose names, addresses, phone numbers, and user activity of YouTube accounts and IP addresses that accessed certain videos. These videos initially sent by undercover police to suspected cryptocurrency launderer operating under the username Elon Musk WHM. Covered topics such as drone mapping and augmented reality software tutorials. Despite being intended for the suspect, these videos garnered over 30,000 views, potentially implicating thousands of unrelated users. Privacy experts have voiced alarm over the mandated data retrieval, citing concerns about its implications for civil liberties. While federal investigators argue that such data is crucial for ongoing criminal investigations, critics argue that the broad scope of the request poses significant risk to privacy rights, particularly regarding the First and Fourth Amendments. The court's order, they argue, sets a dangerous precedent and reflects a troubling trend of expanding law enforcement powers in digital realm. In response to inquiries, Google spokesperson Matt Bryant emphasized the company's commitment to protecting user privacy while cooperating with law enforcement agencies. Google asserts that it rigorously evaluates each demand for users' data, pushing back against overreach and inappropriate requests. However, privacy advocates remain skeptical, urging Google to be more transparent about its data shared policies and criteria for compliance. Concerns over online privacy and data sharing practices are not new, and advocacy groups have long called for greater transparency and accountability from tech companies like Google. Recent updates to Google privacy policies, including changes to location data storage practices, reflect ongoing efforts to address these concerns. However, legal challenges persist with groups grappling with issues such as constitutionality of keyword search warrants and scope of law enforcement access to online user data. The mandated disclosure of YouTube viewer data raises significant questions about the protection of civil liberties in the digital age. Critics argue that the indiscriminate collection of user information, even for legitimate law enforcement purposes, threatens individual privacy rights and may have a chilling effect on free expression and online activity. As technology continues to evolve, ensuring robust safeguards for privacy rights becomes increasingly vital. The debate surrounding the disclosure of YouTube viewer data underscores the delicate balance between law enforcement needs and privacy rights. While law enforcement agencies argue that access to such data is essential for investigating criminal activity and ensuring public safety, privacy advocates emphasize the importance of stringent oversight and accountability mechanisms to prevent abuse and protect individual rights. Finding a sustainable equilibrium between those competing interests remains a complex and ongoing challenge. Tech companies like Google play a pivotal role in shaping the landscape of online privacy and data security. As gatekeepers of vast amounts of user data, these companies face pressure to balance the demands of law enforcement with their obligation to protect user privacy. Transparency, accountability, and adherence to legal and ethical standards are essential principles that should guide their actions in navigating those complex issues. As debates surrounding online privacy and law enforcement powers continue, the need for comprehensive regulatory frameworks and robust oversight mechanisms becomes increasingly apparent. Striking the right balance between safeguarding civil liberties and enabling effective law enforcement requires thoughtful consideration of evolving technological trends, societal norms, and legal principles. Wow. Okay, so, anyways, this is coming under this heading, and you can look this up and read more if you would like. Me personally, I think it's just my business. What I watch on YouTube, let me see. My YouTube channel is set to a TV in my living room, and my granddaughter watches cartoons on my YouTube channel. So, yeah, uh, if they were to look at my YouTube channel, they'd probably be really confused by it because, my granddaughter likes to watch cartoons, whereas I watch all kinds of other stuff. So that would be a little bit weird. I'll show y'all my history, and then you'll know. The cartoons, 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 cartoons. Yes, all cartoons. So you can see my granddaughter watches cartoons because my daughter was trying to set it to a guest account. However, couldn't figure out how to do it, so she ended up leaving it on my account. So yeah, all these cartoons being watched. But I don't think I like the fact that my civil liberties are under siege. I think that if you watch certain videos, people are going to watch whatever they want to watch. And I don't think that we should be punished for watching what we want to watch or learning or having knowledge. right, you guys, I'll be back in a little bit. Enjoy the chat room. That's what it's there for. Chat and enjoy each other and enjoy each other's company. And I will be back.